Hi and welcome, I'm Joco, and joining with me always is the lovely Haylee.
Hey everyone!
This is the Animunchies Podcast where we talk about life and food, especially in Southern California. From here in LA all the way to San Diego and in between. Then we flip on the nerd switch, talk about gaming, anime, and Haylee's specialty,
K-pop!
K-pop talk. So thank you for joining us. And first off, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
2021. We are here. We made it. You made
Somehow.
it. We made it. Somehow we're all here. I mean, it's finally done. 2020.
Right. Can't believe it. It went really fast though, surprisingly.
It was like fast in a good way, but because of bad reasons.
Right.
And hopefully 2021 will be better. Everyone said, oh, 2020, this is the year. I remember that. And
I hate myself for making that post. In 2019, I was like, here's to 2020. It's going to be the best year ever.
You're not the only one that made that post. I'm sure half, if not over half the globe with social media, probably posted something similar.
Well, I think it's because everyone had big expectations for like the new decade kind of thing.
Right. And then it was unexpected. I mean, we already had reports and cases of the coronavirus, COVID, back in Asia.
Right.
Before that, but then it didn't really hit home till like around March. March is when
we went into lockdown.
March is when 2020 officially ended.
Right, exactly.
So we're now in 2021. 2020 is in the past. So let's look forward to 2021 and again, Happy New Year. Kanpai with
water.
Which is probably bad luck, but
Don't do it.
it's okay. Can't get worse than last year, right?
Don't say that.
I mean, knock on wood. Good thing we have a wooden table right in front of us. But I think a lot of us, especially us, like me and Haylee, were very looking forward to finally traveling.
Well, hopefully.
If we can travel. So hopefully everything, I mean, I can't say it goes according to plan, but we're just hoping for the best for this year and hoping that everyone else is going to be doing well and hoping that the whole situation gets better.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Right.
What's that?
No, nothing, because I just want to travel so badly.
Right.
But, I mean.
You know what can help us with traveling?
What?
This relates to our news for this week or this episode.
Oh.
Stimulus check.
Woo!
If you're not too familiar with if you're not from the US, outside the US, anyone that's actually even listening to this outside the US, first off, thank you.
Yeah.
Our government, the federal government, is handing out stimulus checks to everyone. Supposedly about $600.
Yeah.
It'll be either mailed or direct deposited to our bank accounts, and that, I mean, we don't owe it back or anything.
No.
They're just giving us $600.
It's like a help relief kind of thing. But
Right.
it was originally supposed to be $2,000.
Yes. Let's not get into that because that's more politics than what we want to talk about in this podcast. But so it was changed to 600. Technically, it also is, I think there's different tiers too. So I was reading about this. The 600 is what everyone gets. I think if you make like a certain like threshold for your annual income. So if you're under the 75, if you're 75,000 or like 80,000 and under or something like that,
600.
You get the full 600 stimulus, 600 check safety thing. If you're between that and I believe it's 100,000, then you get like 475, something around that. So you don't get the full. And if you're above 100,000, then you don't even need the stimulus check.
You don't get nothing.
You get zero, nada. So, I mean, that's the interesting thing. So all of us, anyone out there that's getting stimulus check, there you go. You got a new PS5.
Is that how much it is? 600? I thought it's more than that.
Well,
is it?
Plus taxes. Then I guess, yeah, you can get most of your PS5. Or you can save for travel. We don't have the PS5 yet. I'm not in a rush. It's been crazy about PS5s over here in the US. Don't even get me started.
You can't even get your hands on one.
It's just, if you want one, just buy it from a scalper for 2 G's.
Don't even do that.
So, yeah, that's not recommended. But, I mean, the 600 should help out a lot of maybe families, or if you need something
they need
a little
food,
extra.
Or paying rent, mortgage.
So, I mean, that's always a good thing. Would have been nicer if it was 2000, but like I said, I'm not gonna get into that. So that's our little news segment for here, our local life here in not just California this time, but here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Since we're local residents of the United States. So, so what do we usually talk about after that? Food. And this time we're kind of traveling outside of LA County. Like I said, Southern California to San Diego and in between. This is in between. This is around Orange County. If not in, I think it is in Orange County. Right. Costa Mesa, where Haylee and I go to almost every other weekend because we love the food and love everything out there.
Yes, it just sucks that it's kind of far.
It's about like an hour drive.
More sometimes. Well, I mean,
hour drive for me.
Yeah. I mean, he always drives. So. And
then, but I mean, for the most part, it's worth it for us compared to what we have nearby. There's not a lot of like cool, like we're obviously very influenced and love like Japanese, Asian stuff.
Right.
We have a couple Korean markets nearby.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God. But
but over there they have more selection.
Oh man, it's insane. Which is why we go there. And one of Haylee's most recent guilty pleasures and favorite spots
Feng Cha.
Feng Cha, which is a boba, like a tea house spot. Little unique, because I mean, obviously, I've had our fair share.
Yeah, we drink boba a lot.
Of a lot of boba.
Or
boba
bubble
milk
tea. I mean,
bubble tea for like East Coast, right?
Yeah, even in Australia, they call it bubble tea. When I
Bubla. The bubla tea.
When I moved from Australia to the States, I was like, what the heck is boba? Because we call it bubble tea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that. I heard it in the East Coast before. And even like I remember seeing a poster or something in Hawaii once. But maybe they're that place just
actually, yeah, I think
boba tea?
Yeah, Hawaii actually does call it bubble tea.
Really? But some people are used to it with boba too, right? So it just depends. You know, tomato. Tornado. So Feng Cha, one thing that we really like about it, or that I like, is they have like this kind of like creme brulee.
Yeah, it's called
milk
the
tea.
Dirty Boba with the creme brulee cap.
With a creme brulee cap. Yes.
It's as good as it sounds. It's so
love
good.
Creme brulee, like just regular creme brulee.
It's like one of his favorite desserts. Actually.
Ask Haylee every time we go to like it's usually like the higher end restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah. But whenever we go, what's our dessert?
Creme brulee.
Creme brulee. I mean that crack, the sugar that's like on top. Oh my god, with the egg custard and stuff. This is not about creme brulee. This is about Feng Cha and boba.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting lost there. I think the boba quality is really good too. Good chew. Good. It has a nice sweetness to it too.
It's kind of like honey boba.
Yeah,
or like brown sugar maybe.
It might be. I'm not too sure, but they do a good job with the boba. I don't know if it's honey or brown sugar based. But the milk tea is very good too. Super good. I'm surprised that not a lot of other places really have like that creme brulee.
I think they're the only ones.
Yeah, it seems like it. I think there's maybe one or two other more spots, but this is the one that we have recently went to and highly recommend it.
Yeah,
we saw it on bubble tea lovers. Yeah,
that's how we found it.
Instagram. You find out a lot of stuff from there. I mean, Yelp helps still too.
Yeah, Yelp.
As well. If anything, I'm one of those people when it comes to Yelp. I don't trust the reviews because I don't trust the reviewers.
Because sometimes people are too picky over silly stuff.
By silly, she means stupid stuff. There's stupid reviews there for stupid reasons. Yeah. But Yelp is still a really good, beneficial app to use for food decisions because once we find out these other food spots that we hear about from friends or see it on like IG and stuff like that, then we just go on Yelp and look at the photos. Because, I mean, the photos don't talk shit. So,
right.
Like
it talks for itself when you see the
exactly
pictures.
Is what I should have said. Talks for itself. But so I mean, the best thing to do, like I said, use Yelp for pictures. I think Google Maps, if you like look up restaurants and stuff lately, because in Japan it's really big. Google Maps is like their Yelp in a way because they don't use Yelp. Barely. Like if you use Yelp in Japan,
It doesn't work.
you will not find anything. Even though you're like if you just put up ramen, it's gonna not show a ramen spot that you're right in front of.
No.
So, but
they have something else. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. They probably have their own specific app for food and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we're in Japan, Google Maps still works very well.
Yeah.
And you'll find food spots. Like I remember looking up Sukumen, and then we found a very good spot in Ueno.
Yes.
Oh my god, one of the best Sukumen spots ever. But that's just from Google Maps. And here in America, I feel like it's getting a little better. Like Google Maps has a lot of nice photos now too.
Yeah,
that people like, distribute and input into Google after they go there, almost like Yelp.
Yeah.
So it's just as trustworthy too. And I feel like the reviews on Google reviews, like for restaurants and stuff, isn't as crazy as Yelp.
Well, because
It's
everyone
more
wants to
tame.
be like Yelp elite. That's why.
Yeah, that's another thing too. That's like people are just making reviews to do reviews, not because they feel like it or they really liked or really disliked the
Not
place.
everyone, though. I mean, there's some that are actually like honest.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying there's like there's a lot of honest people out there, but there's a lot of extra people out there also. Right. So it's up to you. Just juggle in between. Do what we do. If you see something cool on Instagram, bookmark it and look it up.
Yep.
That's what we do whenever we go eat at, like, and even in Hawaii when we visit Haylee's family, have a lot of places and spots that we want to try out and check out.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to Instagram.
Right.
Then we just Yelp it up and look at the pictures. If it matches, we're like, yep, this spot has it. This is just specifically to make sure that they have what we see on Instagram.
Exactly.
We're like,
yeah, because sometimes Instagram, they make it look nicer than it actually is.
Then you're like, what the hell is this? When you like look on Yelp and someone takes a picture of it.
Yeah.
Then again, there's bad pictures on Yelp too.
Right.
Sometimes it's very questionable why people even post some of the stuff that they took photos of. But yeah, Fengcha. So if you're ever in Orange County, Costa Mesa, stop by Fengcha.
That's our recommendation. I mean, they have other drinks too. I think they even have like smoothies, right?
Yeah,
like
they have a lot of stuff. It's just like any type of like
boba,
milk tea, boba house, or tea
all
house.
different flavors. But the only one that we've tried is that creme brulee one.
Right, that's the only reason why
we tried it once, and then we went back the following week, and I bought 5 large.
She's not even kidding. She did. We literally just went back there, and she bought 5, and we had it for like thought it would. Technically, it was supposed to be for the week. It only lasted till the next day.
Yep. No, like 3 days.
Yeah. Also, because the boba, this is what happens when you buy boba drinks from all these different spots, and you know how like when you have it the next day, the boba's like, ugh.
It's hard.
Like, it's like, no matter where you go, no matter how good or how bad the boba is, the boba gets like this weird, like, kind of like, it's like a gelatinous coating, but then the inside is like hard. It's like rough.
Yeah.
You know what you could do? This is like a little secret tip. It's kind of gross too, because I was gonna say that you could sip up all, like, if you don't want to separate it yourself, if you're like lazy like me, I just drink the boba through the straw. Whenever I get boba in my mouth from the day before, I just then spit it back out, or put it into a bowl or cup.
Yeah.
Then you microwave safe cup or bowl, and then you could throw it back in your drink. And trust me, the microwave,
as good as new.
Yeah, it makes it chewy again. I think you can only do this maybe once or twice. So
yeah.
Don't keep redoing this. But yeah, like the next day, if you want, just instead of microwaving like the whole drink, obviously you want that cold. The boba, just microwave it separately. If you have a strainer, which is the normal and probably the better way to do it, just most hygienic way. You just strain all the boba, throw it into a microwave safe dish or container, microwave it. Don't even do it that long. Maybe like 10 to no more than 20 seconds, depending on your microwave. And then it'll be hot, it'll be soft. Boom, there you go.
Good as new.
Good as new. It's like it never happened. So that's our recommendation. Check it out. And there's also a lot of cool other food spots, and also like anime shopping spots.
Right.
Where we buy a lot of our it's like a secondhand store called Book Off. Get a lot of like hand-me-down and like secondhand anime goods, figures, manga. But we'll probably go over that, in another episode. Yeah, it's a really cool place. I mean, I'm looking at like our manga here, which is kind of what you're probably assuming is going to be our anime topic, right?
Yeah.
There's a Book Off tag like on the back of this one right here, and you'll never know what you find there. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it another time. But Costa Mesa is filled it's just a magical place. And it's not too far from Disneyland.
That's true. I want to
Haylee.
move there.
Haley loves Disneyland.
Not to Disneyland, but then to that area.
Yeah, Haley doesn't want to move into Disneyland. Near Disneyland.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's it for Orange County. You know, maybe we'll talk about San Diego or something. There's a couple of food places I want to highlight for sure there. And you'll love it, guys. It's so good. There's a lot of food spots. Southern California, we're very lucky. So that's why we want to share it all with you guys. Next, the Nerd Switch. Here it goes. Flip it up. Okay, so next is guess what? Guess what it is, Haley?
K-pop!
K-pop talk. I should just say K-pop talk with Haley. That's the whole segment.
No, it's not. I mean, you talk about it too.
I chime in here and there. But this time we do kind of have, I guess it's kind of news, but we just want to kind of talk about it. Haley ran into the living room on New Year's, before New Year's Eve, frantically grabbing the remote, going onto YouTube and screaming oh my God. And then I'll let her elaborate what the hell was going on, because I was eating and I was like, what the heck is going on?
So Brittany, my best friend, she texted me and was like, Taemin's on the TV doing a live concert for
Who's Taemin?
Oh, well, Taemin is another K-pop idol that I really like. He's from the group SHINee, but he's from a different entertainment company. He's from SM Entertainment. So we're not talking about BTS today.
BTS is Big Hit Entertainment, to clarify and verify.
Yeah, see? I get too excited, so he's here to put in the correct information for me.
So back to SM with Taemin.
Yeah, so Brittany texted me and she's like, he's on the TV. So I ran into the living room and turned it on, and they had a free online concert for the SM Entertainment.
Right on YouTube, straight up on their YouTube
for free.
channel for free.
Because I've been watching a lot of the K-pop concerts online, but you have to pay for them.
Right. So this was a free ticket right in our living room. We didn't have to pay for anything. And it was really cool because they've showcased, because obviously being forced to watch K-pop again.
He's not forced.
I was eating my shabu, so I had nothing else to watch because I don't eat my shabu in the bedroom, so it has to be here. They're showing a lot of different artists from SM, which is really cool because Haley introduced K-pop to me. I'm a SHINee fan. I really like their music, and I do like Taemin a lot too. Yes. So I'm not gonna lie, I was a little excited to see my man Taemin, but he only had one performance for a solo thing. I was like, what the hell?
I know.
Come on. Yes, if you haven't checked him out, Taemin is really good. His most recent songs, Criminal and Two Kids.
Oh my God, they're so good.
The music video, he's a really good dancer too. He reminds me, because I used to be really into dance and all that stuff before. His style is very similar to one dancer I really like, and that was Brian Puspos. It's really a lot of more
pop,
whimsical pop, lock, and whimsical kind of thing. Yeah. It's really cool. His style is really good. His music is really good too. So check him out. Taemin is really good. Going back to the concert itself, like Haley said, it was free. Yeah,
it's a free concert, and then I saw a lot of the older groups that I was into back in 2009. That's when I got into K-pop.
What what are the older groups that you could?
TVXQ.
No idea. I thought she said something else. Continue.
Super Junior, you know that.
Super Junior. Yeah, they're pretty good. I like them actually a lot. He likes them. They have a cool song that's this old Latin
they did a
song.
Cover of a Latin song.
And they're all singing in Spanish. And the music video is hilarious because it's
they
mirrored the original old music video, so it's an 80s style Spanish looking video, but now it's all Korean guys that dress up like the main original artist, the Latin artist, and it sounds so good, and it's in Spanish.
Was that the first song that I introduced?
I think it was. It was awesome.
We were listening to it in the car, and then they came on, but it was in Spanish, and he was like, this isn't K-pop. And I was like, yeah, it is. It's Super Junior.
I was like, what? Because she's on her K-pop random playlist and stuff. And then all of a sudden, this whole song in Spanish. Because I took Spanish in high school. So I know my Spanish for the most part. And I was like, what is this? It sounds really 80s.
Yeah.
In a good way. They did such a good job. I forget the song name. Yeah. Super Junior.
I don't remember the name of the song. We can probably put it in.
Puedes marchar, something like that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It is freaking good. Anyway, Super Junior is another SM Entertainment K-pop group.
Yeah, they also had Taeyeon from Girls' Generation, which I'm sure like a lot of people are familiar with Girls' Generation, but it was only her. She was singing. They also had their new girl group called aespa.
aespa. AESPA.
Yeah.
This is their anti-Blackpink.
Yeah.
It's like completely new group,
girls.
and it's four girls just like Blackpink. Because Blackpink is YG Entertainment.
Right. So I'll tell you quickly now, like in K-pop, there's they call the big three, like entertainment.
Just like the anime.
Yeah, exactly. So they have YG Entertainment, which Big Bang came from. Then they have JYP, which is Twice. And then SM Entertainment, which is the ones that we were talking about. So they're the big three. But I think recently Big Hit has been pushed up there.
Yeah, it's just like they joined the party.
Yeah, they joined now because
it's like
obviously...
Luffy from One Piece. He's now Yonko status. Well, spoiler. Yeah. Anyway, so SM Entertainment. So they had this whole thing for free. They showcased all of their artists, and Taemin was amazing. Super Junior is cool too because I like their music, and it's cool because they're older.
Right.
They're like all in their mid-30s because Super Junior has been around for apparently a while.
Yeah, over 10 years.
Yeah, Haylee told me they've been around for a long time. They're
like the OG. And then same with TVXQ, which was also a 5-member group before, but then now it's only 2 because they split up.
Ouch.
Yeah.
There's always drama in the K-pop world. K-dramas.
Yes.
Anyways, but the aespa group that we were just talking about, that's the one that kind of caught my attention. But because they do remind me of Blackpink because there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
They're all really pretty. The interesting thing to me was they're all thick, double C, like in the good areas. Because usually I've been growing up like seeing like Girls' Generation, and then K-pop girls and like those female artists are usually skinny or like slender and stuff.
Yeah, well, Blackpink is very skinny.
Yeah. I mean, they have some of them.
Maybe
may have
like
they're
Jennie.
throwing a little. Jennie. What are we talking about?
But then Lisa and Rose are very, very.
But it's cool because they're very memorable. They each have like their own distinctions, and obviously that's why they have like people have their own bias towards like each one of them, like who likes who.
Yeah, but I feel like this new group that SM introduced, they're like a lot thicker in their thighs and booty area. Which is very like not normal, I guess, in the K-pop world.
I love this new normal. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
But they only have one song. I look on Spotify, Black Mamba. Rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah.
But so I mean that was what stood out to me. It was really cool though. I mean, it was going on for a while.
Yeah, it was like
I was done. I was eating shabu for like an hour or more, and the freaking thing was still going and going. But it was really cool to see. At least it was free too. That was a pleasant surprise. I think the main reason I told Haylee is that because a lot of the concerts you do have to pay in order to even have access to watch it, which is like I think maybe that's the future of concerts for now.
Yeah, for now.
What I believe they did that on purpose for, because I think everyone knows Blackpink for the most part. Everyone knows BTS, obviously, but no one really knows all these groups.
Well, the newer generation,
the new people that are just getting into K-pop. Are not familiar with a lot of these groups. So it was a way for them to kind of monetize and like get their names out there without charging, just to kind of have everyone like it was a sampler. It was a K-pop SM sampler from just like Costco. They're giving you samplers and you just grab one from every group. Every group,
right? You can see them all.
And obviously some samplers taste a little better than others.
Yeah. I mean, most of SM like their groups are pretty good. Like they're decent. Like they're older ones.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and then that other new super group, Super M,
which Taemin really is a part of that.
It's funny to me because obviously it's SM, Super M. And it's like, apparently Haylee explained it to me.
The Avengers of the K-pop.
Avengers of the K-pop. Like, they literally took like the main or most popular or really good members from each of SM's other groups.
Like the boy
and
groups
made the male groups, that's right. And then like made a super group.
Yeah.
And Taemin's in there.
Yeah.
He's Iron Man.
Your favorite, that's why.
And, you know, that was really cool. So, I mean, that was our New Year. That was my first New Year's in a nutshell.
Yeah, I just drowned myself in K-pop that night.
And I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
K-pop, of course.
Yes.
So, I mean, that was our little news topic for this episode. It was really cool to see. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, you know, that was a nice way to kind of introduce a lot of new K-pop groups to like people who like K-pop currently, but might not even heard of a lot of these groups. I feel like a lot of
people are getting into K-pop because of BTS.
Right. So I think this was a smart move on SM's part.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone was going to pay for it.
I mean, SM is big, obviously in Asia, obviously in Korea, but I mean globally, who's not SM? Really. I didn't know until you told me. I didn't know about Taemin until you told me. Mm-hmm. BTS, I would have found out on my own because they're probably on the news and they're like everywhere here in the US. Mm-hmm. Same with Blackpink. Right. Blackpink has already took that stepping stone to the next level, like being known globally. Netflix, that was insane. Mm-hmm. So it's nice that SM did that. So it was a cool New Year's treat for me, I guess, and for Haylee especially. So thanks, Brittany.
Thanks, Brittany.
Anyways, so that's our K-pop top for today. Guess what we're going to be highlighting for our anime spotlight today?
If it's not obvious already.
Gundam Wing. Hence all the like the Wing Zero models, like the Gundam Wing Gundam Zero Custom, Snow White, and then the manga.
Yes.
I grew up watching Gundam Wing on Toonami, like as a kid growing up in like elementary school. Was very obsessed with it because I'm like, this is the first time like in the West we're like, oh my god, robots, giant robots, and then piloted by like kids.
Yeah.
So it kind of had that kind of appeal, and it was really cool. Like all the, you know, it just looked cool. Right. It looked just badass.
Who doesn't want to be a Gundam pilot?
Yeah, if you watch Gundam, you know what we're talking about. Yeah. We all want to be Gundam pilots. Yeah. There's so many. There's like, I could probably say hundreds of different Gundams because there's so many different series.
Yeah.
Each one is different. They're not all connected. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're starting to get into it, they're all not connected. There's like different timelines. I'm not going to explain everything because it's insane. The original timeline, though, like from the old school, like original Gundams, like the UC, the Universal Century Universe, and that's completely separate. But that connects because it's one of the main ones because that's where they started. Mm-hmm. That connects with Unicorn Gundam,
my favorite.
So so the old, you know, I will say Grandpa Gundam, you know, goes all the way. There's newer Gundam series that actually connect to it. But Gundam Wing was a series that I believe like started and it came out in early 90s in Japan. And if we finally got it here in the West, like from what I remember, I think around, I'm trying to base this on when my sister was born, because that's when I started watching this. Like I get home from school, turn the TV on, go onto Cartoon Network, watch Toonami with Tom, and Gundam Wing, I think was like at 4:30. So that was like what I did religiously. And I think that was in 1994, maybe 96, something like that. And it was amazing. I mean, look at this. Like this is like how many years later? I'm not gonna say the number because I don't want you to know.
He's still obsessing over it.
And I love it. Yeah. It's so good. I'm obsessed with like especially Gundam Wing, because I have a lot of friends that obviously like they're all my age group.
Right.
We all grew up. We all watched like Toonami. Gundam Wing was the first thing we watched in terms of like getting introduced to the Gundam franchise.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing about it too, even back then, like they made these are. Well, the one in the front is a model kit,
which we made together.
That was our first, I think, model kit that we made together. And the model kits, they've been coming out since, you know, back when Gundam started coming out. Don't get me wrong, they've come a long way though. Some of the model kits are very questionable.
Some of the older ones, I was like,
it's like all one color, like the first ones. It's insane. But after that, like even when I started watching Gundam Wing, that was the first time I started like building Gundams, and I was like, you know, I was a kid. I was in elementary school,
right.
So it was really cool. I think it makes you like think and, you know, kind of use your head a lot more compared to just playing video games. Which
well, all the instructions are in Japanese as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's like mostly
pictures.
It's
like IKEA,
and it tells you
kind
like
of.
we have to match numbers. There's so many different types of like different like panels of different like sets of different plastics and stuff that you have to assemble. You don't need any glue for like a majority of them.
Yeah.
There's different types. There's so many sizes. Mainly you don't use glue. It's a lot of like snap and then put together, just click together. And this is one of them. This is Wing Gundam Zero Custom, which is from like the movie after the whole Gundam Wing series, which I also love. That's another Christmas movie, by the way. If you need Christmas movies and you ran out of stuff like Home Alone and all that, and you're like, oh, I want a Christmas anime movie.
Oh goodness.
Gundam Wing Endless Waltz.
Yeah.
That's actually a Christmas movie. It's filmed like it's during Christmas time for sure, like with the snow and stuff. And I just love the look of like all the Gundams from this series. They're very cool. I mean, they're very iconic, especially here in Western culture. I mean, he has like angel wings.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Pretty,
yeah. So Gundam Wing, it was more of an adult themed like anime.
Yeah.
But when you're a kid, you don't realize or notice all that. You're just like, oh man, look, he's shooting lasers.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't
it's so
pay
cool.
attention to the actual storyline because it's actually very deep.
Yeah, it's very deep.
And
a lot
like,
of how these Gundam series, Gundam Wing, yeah, there's a lot of politics included. And it's also, there's a lot of dark stuff sometimes, like there's a lot of, killings and stuff. Yeah. And you see that more, I think, on like, like Unicorn, you saw it.
Yeah.
Like, like people being blown up and stuff. But like as kids, you're just like, ooh, because they really make the scenarios and the stories very realistic. Like if it was happening like in a future time, like for humans, it's not just like fantasy and stuff or like Naruto, like everyone ninjas and stuff like that. Or like, like that. This is like a realistic thing that that the writers and everyone had like made it out to be like these were real. It's like it's really cool because it's like politics, like it talks about peace, war, like war and peace is like an endless waltz kind of thing. That's what they're saying because it always when times of peace there's always gonna be war, vice versa. When there's war, people are trying to look for peace and there's a really deep and adult themed topics for Gundam. And you just don't notice all that as a kid, like I said, because it looks so cool. And I think that's an added element when you get older and you start to understand. Like when I rewatched Gundam Wing, because Haylee got me this very cool Blu-ray box set, and I rewatched it again. It's like always interesting to watch it like every year or so, because it's like, wow, you catch a lot of things. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that. It's like really adult theme, to be honest. Like I keep repeating that because it's like it kind of blows my mind because as kids we're just watching like massacres and like all this stuff. Even when they're talking, you don't even
know what's going
on. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't know what they're actually talking about. How would you even
understand this when you're a kid?
Right.
You can't.
I just love, and then what sticks with me is the music. I love the music soundtrack, like the OST, the opening, the ending theme song. Yeah. I love everything. Gundam Wing. I highly recommend it, and I'm super biased about it.
Yeah, he is super biased about it.
But
it's a good series.
It's good. I had her watch it because she grew up Evangelion.
Yeah, I grew up with a different anime.
Mecha anime. Mecha is, if you're not familiar, that's like the mecha theme is like robot theme stuff.
Yeah, mine was Eva, like Evangelion.
So, I think she liked it. You said you liked it,
I did. And then when I watched Unicorn, I fell even more in love with it.
And Gundam Wing, the thing is, since it came out, it was actually the last Gundam series where where everything was hand drawn.
Oh yeah.
Everything was hand drawn, like all the art is done by hand because
no
the next series I believe was probably Gundam Seed, and after Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed from then on, it's a lot of digital and like computer art and stuff like that.
You can tell too.
You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
It's not aging well.
I wish they would redo it or like remaster it.
That is the one thing. If I could have any wish, actually no, wait.
No.
If I had 5 wishes, so I can use one of them. One of them will be for them to remake and remaster Gundam Wing because I love this series.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't imagine seeing these in like computer animated form the way Unicorn was.
Right.
They would look amazing.
So good, yeah.
Please do it. If you're watching this, oh my gosh, thank you. I can't imagine.
Someday, maybe.
One day, hopefully before we're both gone, so at least one of us can see this through. And we have a lot of different Gundam model kits and stuff.
Yeah,
we have a mountain of backlog that we have to build.
It's really bad, guys. We have like so many model kits to build, and he keeps buying more, which is totally fine because, like, you know, you won't find it again if you don't buy it.
Right. There's a lot of that's the cool thing too. Like there's a lot of exclusives, so people really want to get it because you're not going to see them again.
No, and then because a lot of them we bought in Japan as well. At the
There's a good amount
base.
that we bought at there's actually exclusives at the Gundam base, which is in Daiwa City in Odaiba in Japan, in Tokyo, and it's really cool. I mean, there's for everyone that watches Gundam, there's definitely a series that they'll like relate to or really enjoy.
Yeah,
I think if you're like haven't even got into it, if you didn't like. It's blasphemous though. If you didn't like Gundam Wing, you might like Gundam Unicorn. If you didn't like those two, you might like, you know, Gundam Build Divers or there's a Gundam series for everyone because there's different timelines. There's different. Some are more adult. Some are more like
the Build Divers. I feel like is more for kids.
I think they made that series like to kind of get model kits and kids, you know, into Gundam because like they could build their own model kits and kit bash and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean. Man, Gundam Wing is a global thing. They just made it like an actual Gundam. Like,
oh, they did, yeah, in Yokohama. Can't wait.
Like, it's like if you've seen that weird thing where like people are posting like, oh my god, Japan made a real robot and it moves and it's huge. Yeah. That's a Gundam. Yeah, that's the original Gundam that it's modeled after, the RX-78-2 Gundam. So we're definitely gonna go if we can try to travel to Japan this year, 100%. So I mean, if you haven't checked out a Gundam series. Personally, if you're like into old school stuff, because like I said, it's all hand drawn. Gundam Wing, if not Gundam Unicorn, because I mean, really cool series too, and the art is so beautiful, and the animation is amazing too. That's my anime spotlight. That's our anime.
Yeah,
spotlight.
I mean mainly his, but then
right. Even my phone case has Wing Zero on it. But Haylee's enjoyed it. Yeah, or so she says.
Why don't you ever believe me? He keeps saying that.
Well, I'm just hoping you did.
Of course I do. I even built this with you, and I have my own model kits that I'm building as well. She does.
She has her SD,
I
like
made a Hello Kitty.
Small, cute versions of. Yeah, she has a Hello Kitty Gundam. Yeah. So I'm glad she's enjoying it too, and like she really likes Unicorn, so she enjoyed that series. Yeah, and that's all I can ask for. More Gundam fans. So join us. But that's our little spotlight also for our anime this week. Man, we have so many Gundam model kits. My gosh, guys, you have no idea.
Maybe we should show them one time.
I'll post a picture right here so you can see again. I probably posted it earlier when we were talking about it, but here it is again. Yeah. Ooh, yes, mountains. But that's it for today. For the next episode, we'll see what we're going to talk about. We'll have other. Like I said, we have so many places to highlight and spotlight.
Yeah, and so many animes to talk about too.
Gosh, it's good for you guys and good for us. So, I mean, wherever you guys are listening out there on the globe, you know, if you're sitting, standing, laying down, listening to us, as always, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.